What's up, guys? How is everyone doing? Welcome back to another live stream. How is everyone doing today? Another busy day in the market with the CPI data coming out, so volatility everywhere. CPI again worse than expected, 1.3% month to month. So we saw a big move to the downside on the indices in the beginning, and now the retrace, just as you can see here on the S&P and on the Nasdaq as well. So today it's another live stream. So today it's going to be basically educational content, right? To talk about any topic that you may want to do on the about price action. Anything that you want, we can talk about it. You can share your charts with me as well for me to take a look at it. Usually I do this live stream on a Tuesday. However, yesterday I was busy, I couldn't make it, so there you go. It's Wednesday today, and that's the day I'm doing it. But usually it's going to be Tuesdays and Saturday. On Saturday is the weekly analysis in preparation for the week ahead, right? So that's usually the type of content that I'm creating, and I will start doing some short videos as well, just to help. Maybe from the live streams, maybe it's just talking about a specific topic, a 10 minutes video. Maybe it's going to be interesting as well to share with you guys. So today, right, CPI data, that's what everyone was waiting for, right? What's up, Matom? Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully, yeah, welcome, man. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, good to see people in the stream. So great. Usually on the Saturday, I already have one or two guys that is starting to join me. So it's always better to have a good conversation instead of kind of a monologue. In the beginning, it's going to be like that. I almost know for sure that in a few weeks, I will start having a little bit more people joining the live stream, and it's going to be more interactive, hopefully. So yeah, CPI data prediction after the strong rally on the dollar, on the DXY. My prediction when this morning it was, so where were we this morning? All right, we were somewhere in here. That's where the market closed, and it was the Asian session. Two things that stood out for me. So this is what I noticed this morning, and this is how I approached the session today. I saw this one, it was still fresh, this level in here. So this was one of the zones that I was looking at. We could definitely see that we had these highs that never really got close to this zone. So that was the first one, and the second one, it was this lows, right? So this low didn't really broke this zone in here, right? So there was no engulf to the downside from yesterday's session, right? So we had this move to the downside. We saw that price reversed in here, still created a new higher high yesterday. Basically, that was the moment when euro dollar, it reached the parity, right? So that kind of historical moment of euro going slightly below 1. And today it happened as well, just before price reversed. So there you go. That the parity level on euro dollar is going to be most likely a key support zone. Maybe then in the future, maybe resistance zone. That's basically where price has been trading at on euro. So, but what you could see in here on the dollar index, so we didn't broke this low, so there was still not a proper engulf to the downside. From here, if we kind of draw an area, this would be kind of my zone of interest. And in this case, yes, there is still orders in here, so okay, expect some reaction in there. I was actually kind of expect at the same point we actually broke this low on the way up. We actually kind of broke. We had already broken these lows in here, even maybe this one as well. Can consider that one. So we kind of had already some engulfs to the downside on the way up. However, the major low it was not broken. So this is then what I saw, right? So we had this zone that it was fresh, and price reacted from there quite nicely. And one of the predictions was kind of, okay, break this one, maybe retest this guy and go down. That was something that I was looking at. Price didn't really do that. Price just reacted from these guys in here, went up a little bit and start moving down. And what happened, right? So just before around 1 p.m. or 12 something, I think it was around 1 p.m. actually. Yep, around 1 p.m. Price just breaks these lows. And this is something that you usually see during the news event. So when you are about to trade big news events, in this case CPI, could be NFP, could be maybe even FOMC or ECB interest rate decision, some big news events, right? Sometimes pay attention to what price does even before, like just before it the news release, right? Try to find that information that can give you a clue of where price is going to, the direction that price wants to go to afterwards, right? And this is what I usually call the engulf fake out sequence. Engulf first, as it gives me the direction that that price wants to go to, right? In this case, we do break this low, so this is kind of the direction, which is called engulf in this case. Lower time frame can be just be a fake out, as you can see, right? Price can actually just, can even try to like and find some buy orders in here, and then you have the fake out, right? So the fake out then happens in here, which is kind of take the highs in here. It could even not go that high and even take this one. Maybe we have some highs in here that price can just take and reverse. In this case, price still managed to take this high, and then you have the final move, which is kind of in direction of the first engulf. So that's something that I usually pay attention to. Expect kind of after the engulf, expect fake out, and then just enjoy price going into the direction of the engulf, especially if we do have kind of still space. And in this case, kind of we may have still space until to the next one, right? So look at this engulf that actually opens the door for price to go further down. In this case, we did broke this double low just before the news. We have this big spike. If you haven't seen it, I even tweeted. I was talking with some guys when price actually was in here. I even told one guy, yep, expect the XY to go lower. Just shared that tweet before. It was actually kind of 141 when I wrote that. Price was actually at the highs, and the reason for that, as I mentioned, is this break of this low in there. So there you go. This is what this was my game plan for today's session for the CPI data. As soon as I saw this, initially it was this moving here, like for the 1 session, but then this would be the game plan then for after the news, right? And you have a few opportunities that you can try to trade from when you have these news events. This could be an NFP day as well. Like you may have that opportunity during the London session when you see that price is slowly going higher, especially if this one is already an engulf down. If this low, that will be even a better confirmation to even look for sales entry in this zone. But you can have that London open opportunity around that time, even if this break, as I mentioned, break in here. So you may have that opportunity in there. Then price goes, enjoy the move, expect some kind of retrace around before the news even. Expect that. Especially after price breaks a key zone, maybe you are expecting now that price broke this double low. Maybe you are expecting now that price is just going to retest these lows and carry on to the downside, but that's usually not what happens during this news news event day. So what we have is the break. Maybe there's an opportunity to look for even longs in here as well. Sometimes the move is not too aggressive. Maybe in this case it was kind of 10 minutes before that we had this break of the low. Sometimes it's going to be around maybe 10 a.m, 11 a.m. after the London Open. After this move down during the London Open, maybe we have the break of this low around maybe 11, and then maybe you still have 2 hours until price actually gets there. And in this case, it's maybe when you have a better PA confirmation to look for an entry somewhere in here for a long, and then expect again, if we do break this low, if you do break some level of structure in here, and expect for like be cautious of the expectancy of your target in here, because this is an move down. Even if you are long in here, expect just a reaction close to the highs and close your trade in there. Maybe you want to gamble it, expecting maybe with the news that price is going to go to the moon, but most likely pay attention to the information that price is giving. So we have your first trade in here, you can have a second trade in there during news events, then you can have the trade during the news if you want to trade the news. If you don't want really to get exposed to that fast movements during the release of the news, you most likely still have maybe some PA. If we have it like this, there's maybe some pause in here after the big spike. Maybe you don't really place a limit order in there, but you're going to enter with price action confirmation, and then maybe somewhere after the break of these flows, or even kind of close to this level, you can have maybe a trend continuation setup of maybe expecting the break and continuation to downside, if you do have momentum now and price is breaking this well. So you have kind of those 2, 3, 4 possible setups that usually I try to look for in the during the news event, right? That's usually how I look at it. We not always have this kind of so clean PA in here, but today actually we had it. We had it on dollar index. I didn't really pay attention to euro dollar today, because everyone is looking at the parity level. I don't even like to look at it myself. Let the others trade those that parity support level in there. But I did look at the Aussie dollar and the pound dollar, and those were super clear as well in terms of the levels that, especially with the levels at the lows, to maybe look for the opportunity after the news, even before that. So I will show you in a bit where exactly, for example, Aussie dollar reacted from even before the news, and then the day after as well. So yeah. Now, are we going to see a reversal now? That's maybe the question. Are we now ready maybe to start looking for a move to the downside on the dollar index, maybe for the next few weeks, or maybe at least the next FOMC meeting? Is price already showing some signs of reversal, some PA of reversal in here, maybe? So where are you reacting at the highs, right? Just do this. Right, so price is reacting at this 108 level, 108.581. By the way, guys, how do you try to trade this type of days with the big news event? You have a specific strategy? Do you like to trade the news? Do you avoid trading the news? What is your approach when you are on days like this? Like, do you like the excitement of this big volatility? Do you prefer days where there's not so much craziness going on in the market? What kind of style do you like to trade? Comment below, even if you're not watching it live. Feel free to comment below. What is your approach when you'd like to trade the news? So where is actually price reacting from on the bigger picture? any option to, when you change time frame, to stay on the same spot. This is annoying to be doing all this moving price to the left side. Go. Yep. Wait. Okay, this is where price is reacting to. Okay. Okay, so price is reacting from this 108, right? 108 something. It was a zone that I had it for quite a while, right? I had kind of this supply zone in here a long time. So initially I wanted to see the break of this double top in there. That kind of happened last week or something like that. And after that, this one that I had, it was this this kind of supply zone in there that was kind of still fresh, right? And we have maybe some left shoulders in there. There's maybe still a little bit above it in there. Be honest, my final zone is still a little bit above, as I mentioned, not final zone, but one zone that I actually want to see is actually the break of this high, of this spike in here, and price going closer to the 110 level. That's actually kind of one of my zones in there. There's a probability of price even going a little bit higher than maybe 117 or something like that. But let's see. First, actually the major turn that I would like to see is somewhere around this 110, maybe 111, something like that. But for now, price is reacting from this kind of zone that was still fresh within this rectangle that I had drawn in there. So, okay, good zone in there. Good zone. Unfortunately, I cannot go lower than the daily. As I mentioned, like we are so far back 20 years ago that it's impossible. It's one of the struggles now. So, yeah. So what's next, right? What's next in here? Where did this all reacted from? Is price going to fill all this price? Is price getting? Is it going back here to these lows? Is going to fill it? We do have kind of two zones in there. The first one is maybe where price is at the moment. That could be the first zone for price to even maybe continue the move to the downside. Maybe it's just going to reverse and continue. Maybe then we do have maybe still this one in here. And there's maybe even a chance of having a little bit above it. Right? There's maybe 2-3 zones that maybe price can react from. Is this... I think I would like to see price going at least kind of close to these lows. Kind of. I think we did open space now to go a little bit further down. So let's see what's going to happen on our index. It's maybe the first reaction in there, or maybe in here or in there. Those are maybe some zones to look at it. All right, so let's move on. Move to the other ones. Let's take a look at what happened on the other major FX, and then we're going to look a little bit at BTC and Ethereum as well, because I think price is in a good level as well. It did show some good price action in there today, just during and before and during the news release. Yeah, maybe something in there. Okay, so what's next? Yep, so here we are. So euro, right, trading at this parity, right? It's actually a level of this rectangle that I have in here. It's a level that I identified in one of my streams kind of 1 week ago or something like that. It's this key level. It was, if you go back a second. Yep. So it was in here. It was basically the retest. I mentioned that it was a retest of this level, it was a retest of this level, and we kind of had this still fresh to money in there because this wall never really got close to that zone. So it was actually even aside from the fact that it's a parity, it was actually a good key level in there, right? It was a fresh Davidman zone. We had kind of some of good support resistance level in there, previous touches, which was kind of giving some more importance to the level. Yeah, so it was actually a good zone in there. I even mentioned that there was some kind of weird data from the weekly chart that I had out this triple bottom in here on the weekly, which was kind of weird. While on the daily I don't really have anything like that in here, so it is what it is. But yeah, price did reacted quite nicely from that level. In the end, just maybe when maybe the XY maybe is going to go to those 110 or even a little bit above. Maybe when actually euro may go a little bit below this. Actually, I'm expecting all this area to be eventually taken before a major reversal to the upside on the euro. I'm expecting price to get close at least to this level, or even a little bit farther below. 0.89 may be too much, but at least this 0.95 level. Just a break of this wall. I just want to see the break at least of that wall in a bigger picture. Yeah, it was a good level. I didn't even know about it. Of course, maybe the parity level, even if you didn't have a good, like, even kind of a structure in there, look based on the price, I think just that kind of emotional level of psychological level of the parity, just that alone would be an important kind of support zone. When did you try to trade it? Did you try to catch it today or even yesterday? Because even yesterday there was maybe some kind of a good trade. I did miss the trade yesterday. That's actually when I tried to trade it. Today I didn't even look at the euro, to be honest with you. I literally didn't even look at the euro, but yesterday there was this trade in here. Exactly. This kind of could be the entry after the break of this guy in here. We had already broken some highs, even in here as well. It was a nice left shoulder in here. Why is this not throwing? Why you're not throwing anything? 1 second. Is it? Yep. Good. We are back. Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't even look at the euro dollar today, to be honest. I really liked pound dollar and the Aussie. That was kind of my focus. But yeah, this yesterday actually was a really nice zone. And even if you want to look for the entry in there, or maybe even afterwards, this actually was a good zone. I didn't catch it. I was actually trading the Aussie as well at around this lows yesterday. But I didn't catch it. But it was a good one. This one was a good level. With target even take this one. Yeah, target even somewhere in here, or of course maybe a little bit above it, just to test off this previous low. It was a good zone to target. Yeah, out of this compression and approach, we had the first break of a high in here, and then we have kind of the second one in there. So it was actually a nice zone to look for it. Today I didn't even pay attention to it, to be honest. It's kind of the first time that I'm actually spending some time looking at the euro today. So yeah, I didn't even look at it. The reason for it is actually, yeah, even looking at this, maybe in here there was a good, still fresh order, so nice reaction in there. But aside from that, nothing much. But similar to dollar index, as you can see, kind of this move up, breaking even yesterday's highs, and even maybe breaking something like this. It's a kind of a clear indication that price may want to go higher, right? And you want to find those breaks of structure before the news. That's what you kind of want to be looking at. At least that's what I try to focus on, even maybe the day before, or even during the same day, just kind of a few hours before, just to try to find out exactly some key important levels. So Aussie, right? So Aussie, I can even go from all the time frame, from all the top-down analysis. I think someone also asked me in one of the comments to do kind of a top-down analysis, and this can be maybe a good example. So where were we in the bigger picture, right? Aussie, I think I mentioned as well, kind of in one of my weekly reviews. We had all these lows in here. I didn't like any of them. Kind of similar to the euro-dollar zone. I wanted to see Aussie going below these lows, right? And then we had this kind of nice level, previous support in there. We have kind of this demand zone in there that price just shoot through after breaking this low from COVID. This low on this side, sorry. And then I investigated a little bit within this level, right? I tried to see, okay, let me try to find out what we may have in here. And then I went to the lower time frame. Where are we now? Okay, we are here. We are here. Let's check on 5 minutes. Yeah, this is kind of what I tried to find out. First of all, I saw this demand just underneath that big, those lows that I mentioned that I wanted. Price still actually reacted from here. This could be kind of a nice zone to look for that fake out of those initial lows. But then maybe for a bigger reversal, this was actually kind of the final zone that I wanted to see price taking, these lows, right? So I always try to look at when you have this accumulation of lows, important zone, and where do we have that last fake out, and then after that price just continues to go up, when in theory it should actually have gone to the downside and react from this demand zone. That's in theory what price should have done it, but you will see that most often you'll see that price creates this kind of PA that is breaking of a nice low, a good low, and instead of continuing and filling it, it could be straight away, it could even kind of retest this size and then go down and fill that zone. Instead, price just leaves this zone behind, right? Just leaves it for the future, whenever that future is. Next day, next month, next week, next year, in 2 years time, whatever. And then in the future, when price is turning back, this is usually the zone that I look for as a final target, and this is where exactly what happened. So basically we just broke this low in here. This is the low that we just broke during this week. Initially we even retested for a bit, so I'll mark this line again, or this trend line. So this zone is, as you can see, is 07152, 067,152. There's maybe still this demand a little bit underneath that maybe price wants to go to, maybe even this level in here as well. I have been mentioning the 0.067 mark, or maybe even the 0.667 or 0.668, something like that. But I was happy as soon as we broke this low, I was happy to start looking for longs. And if you go back to the present, so you can see that price respected those zones in there initially. I even consider moving, that's a good question, if I consider moving 5-10 pips below level a fake out. For me, even a 1 pip move, for me, it's already information. If price actually breaks below a low, for me, that's already an information that I kind of gather. Kind of, that's for me, is already price in theory, at least that's how I look at it. Price for me, it shouldn't even break a pip below a zone if it wants actually to not go and give that information to the market. I don't know if actually that's how the kind of the algorithms look at it or not, but at least that's how I interpreted it. So of course it matters to have a good data stream. Sometimes it may be a little bit, it may diverge, maybe between brokers or something like that. But yeah, even a pip below for me, it's a go for a fake out. It depends. But yeah, so price did respect it kind of for these 2 times, and I was waiting for the break. So yeah, as I mentioned yesterday, actually we went long somewhere in here. Initially we didn't really had that much more confirmation. Actually, I kind of closed it somewhere in here. I think my trade. I did mistake that of not entering a second time. There was a beautiful PI in here as well to enter a second time, and I didn't. Yeah, my first entry after the break of this high, I looked for the entry and I got long. But in here there was a beautiful second entry. I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't enter in here. This would have been a great entry. The retest of this guy after the break of kind of this trend line, this size. In here would have been a great second entry to look for longs. Yeah. That was it. That was kind of the plan for you from yesterday. And then I saw that this is just market closing. Forget about this data, but I saw the spice, right? We had this spice, literally. This again is exactly what I look for, kind of price respecting this one of the demand zones, go higher and creates this pattern, right? This is exactly right. I'm expecting that move, right? Hopefully we have kind of a demand zone in here that price respects initially, but then the final zone, the origin, is within this level. And this is then where I'll be looking for. So first this demand, perfect, create a new higher high, which is what I want to see. And usually this is then the Quasimodo pattern, right? Because we may have that left shoulder already created somewhere in here, just like this, right? And you have that that KM that is with this left shoulder, a high, a low, a higher high, and then the next left shoulder in there. It's kind of similar, maybe in this case not exactly there, but something like that, right? Go high, like lows, high, low, higher high, higher high, and then you have the pattern somewhere in these lines. And I noticed that we had this price in here. That's why actually I start even getting more interested on seeing dollar index doing exactly what it did. You're welcome, man. You're welcome, Atom. And thanks for asking questions for taking the time to be here. So yeah. So my game plan was to see price kind of looking for long somewhere in here at these lows. I noticed that just before the news again, this is another kind of Quasimodo pattern that you can see. And I've been mentioning quite a few times that if you see a Quasimodo that in theory should have been respected on the way for the way up, but it isn't. And especially with this beautiful supply in there, it literally creates this spice in here. Price never touched this zone. It's a beautiful zone to then to look actually for shorts, because in theory it should have worked as a long. It didn't. Reason for that, of course, pay attention to where this high is reacting to on the left side, right? Maybe that's the reason why price never really respected this Quasimodo in the first place, because kind of it may have reached this target in there. So there is no more space to the upside. But yeah, a Quasimodo that should have been respected as a long most likely can be respected as a short, especially if there is space between these levels. And yeah, and that was basically just before the news. I don't really trade the news like that, so I didn't look for that for the short in there. I even text a guy that I usually talk with. Yeah, just pay attention. I draw it actually, but yeah, pay attention to that level. Beautiful. And then of course, just the news came out, big spike. I was actually long on the Euro Aussie. Kind of I catch the reverse move. I didn't really short the Aussie dollar, but I was long on Euro Aussie. Yeah, in half a second, I first target was hit on Euro Aussie. Yeah, still open for the second position, wherever that goes. But yeah, that was the zone. And then as soon as I saw price approaching these levels, tried just to pay attention. Let's see now how price is going to be behaving there, right? You can clearly see the spice. I used actually this one in there. You can clearly see the spice. We have a clear and beautiful double bottom. That's why I like to see price respecting this first demand in here initially, and then to leave this spice behind for the future. That's exactly what happened in there. There you go. And that was the opportunity. And I was pissed because actually I didn't even manage to catch the long. I was looking at pound and Aussie at the same time, and I didn't manage to catch any. Yep, I didn't. It's hilarious. What the fuck. Regardless, you can always look for the next one. Price behaves kind of the same way. I'm not really talking about here my trades. It's just actually the opportunities that you may see and that you can capitalize it in the future. It's just practice and you'll find those opportunities across all the markets. There was even the first one somewhere in here, and then the second one actually I tried to enter in here. Price just retested this guy. So I didn't really manage to catch on it. So yeah, and then the pound, maybe you can take a look at it as well. It's kind of similar story. It's even a little bit with more detail on the pound, because we actually had that spice that I wanted to see it, which is this one. So find that spice. Let me go to the 1 minute time frame. And by the way, just like that, in terms of looking at a higher time frame, going from the higher time frame to the lower time frame and to kind of do a top-down analysis, right? This is how you do it. Like I started with the bigger picture, where I wanted to see price kind of reacting to on the left side. As soon as I saw that, we start looking for longs. There was the opportunity yesterday to start looking for longs. There was still not that much space in terms of looking for targets. Kind of, I didn't really need to look for a major target because there wasn't that much space. While today, if I actually have managed to get long in here, my target would have been bigger, right? I would have at least tried to attempt to retest in here and maybe even expect higher. But when you are looking for the first long in here, there's not really that necessity to look for price to go to the moon. Be conservative with your targets depending on the space that you have. Then price most likely is going to retrace to give you that second opportunity to look for whatever space it was open with where price was coming from in that moment. But yeah, so this was the space that I was looking at. Exactly. Then you can even go to the lower time frame. Even just looking at the 4 hour, it's such a nice zone, or on the daily, I think. So I like to trade weeks. I think it's on the 4 hour. Yep, just this fresh week, right? I like to pay attention to these weeks. It's exactly where it reacted from. Then you can go a little bit more into detail to actually find which specific zone actually you want to see. Where is that space? Where is that last zone? So this is kind of the same demand that initially is respected. Price went up, and it left kind of this one in here. And this is actually where I was looking for price to fill. You can see that initially actually price kind of reacts in here. This low hasn't really touched the space that I wanted to see, but it goes there after. And there is a great trade in there to trade it. And I missed it. I was looking at Aussie specific in this moment. That's when I was looking at Aussie, and then I went back to pound, and then between, yeah, looking at one and the other, and it ended up missing both of them. Because there was that trade. I think maybe it was this entry in here. I don't even remember now. But there was that opportunity to catch that move up. Yep. Then again, there was kind of this small space in here, this inefficiency. Price kind of took it. End up not taking it again at lows, but fuck it, I just catch it somewhere in the middle in here. So I actually got some long. As soon as I saw the momentum going on the dollar index and across almost all the pairs, that's the momentum. It's not a trade that I usually take, but after missing these two, I got long somewhere in here. When I kind of catch these moves. I don't really like them, but my stop loss is kind of wide. It's not my favorite setups, but I could see the momentum on it, so I just got long somewhere in here. I end up catching this one. Of course, my favorite entry would have been, for sure, at the lows. That's where I was looking for in the beginning. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. You got long, right? Happy for you, man. At least you got it. I'm happy if someone else got the longs, even if or got the trades, even if I don't, even if I didn't. So let me just check your level. 1864, 186, 186, 164. In here. So it was after all this momentum. It was just a catch to the upside. It's when you got it. $180. When did you got the long? Which timing was it? Your stop loss is quite wide. 180. Before the news, so on the way down. Okay. Oh yeah, you are trading in a higher time frame for that stop loss. It needs to be. It's even below the low, right? Yeah, you are even protecting this low in here. All right. Yeah, I'm being a little bit aggressive as well to try to look for these longs. I think we may be close to maybe a good reversal on the FX pairs. I start liking where most of them are reacting to, even the approach as well. So I'm trying to try to look for it as well. I think there's a little bit of space if we actually start getting that momentum. I don't think this size. I think price can easily come here, go to that side. Even this one kind of never really reacted from here. I think we are starting to create some kind of a good approach to a level. Not sure if it's going to go. It's going to be this one, the low, or if price is going to go a little bit further below. But for now, beautiful reaction. I can start off looking for maybe some big reversals. Let's see if price actually gets that momentum to go. For now, I kind of see maybe how this is compressed in here. There's this kind of imbalance between these two. I think I could see price going there at least. Let's see. But I mean, happy for you, man. Happy that you got that trade. And again, a little bit similar to dollar index, maybe around dollar and so on, like what pound does just before the news as well, with this high in there. I think even broke this one again, kind of literally showing that indication, right? There is kind of the way at least I think about it. Actually, I missed this long as well during this morning. I missed the long here, I think so. Yeah, I saw the reaction in here, and because I was expecting still dollar index to carry on to the downside to eventually break those lows, I kind of tried to go long after I saw the break of this guy, but price paused in here. Never really got close, so I remember I missed this long in there. I wanted to fulfill this space in there, because I was biased as well on dollar index that wanted to still go a little bit lower to break those lows. And it was a good zone. It was still a fresh demand in there. So yeah. But the way I look at it, for me, there is no reason for price to create these higher highs if he's thinking about kind of going down. Price could easily just react from here and go and shoot to the downside. If you are actually breaking some levels of structure before that, that's kind of opening the door to go there in the future. That's usually the way I look at it. Yeah, that's what I look at it. And as well. Oh, thank you, man. Great. And thanks for your feedback. High five to you, man. And high five to you. Happy to know that. Great. And this has been maybe an issue for this last kind of couple of weeks. My second target, I've been managing to hit it. I did got short in here. I placed a limit order during the night. I saw this supply and this one. So I entered in there after the break of this low, and actually my target was in here. Price is paused in there. Missed it. Yeah, I missed my second target. First target was somewhere in here. And yeah, I was actually about to go long, and I didn't go long in here actually because these guys never really broke this side. This side had been broken, even though this side had been broken already from here. I was waiting for this confirmation to start even looking for long, or even maybe close the 7 go long, kind of to flip completely my position. I didn't do neither, so there you go. No second target for me, and I didn't go long in there. We had an extra fake out in here. Price is still kind of reacting from the same zone on the higher time frame. Yeah, if we go there, where are we? Yeah, we are here now reacting, right? I'm still expecting this high to be taken, kind of similar to dollar index. But for now, yeah, maybe you can even use these highs in here as a left shoulder. Look for maybe sells. Maybe had some kind of structure in here. Eventually, I'm still expecting price to eventually go and take that guy. But let's see. I think we are seeing that the exhaustion is kind of being created. I really like this compression. There's going to be a moment where it's actually going to have that big move down and on the dollar yen. So I'll be looking for sales anytime we're getting close to the highs, or even we have a fake out. First target is going to be conservative, but the next one, we just even broke these lows now. So let's see. Again, we need to break this guy. I even mentioned last time as well, I got short in here. Again, second target never got hit. I got out at break even on the second entry. Yeah, we never really broke this demand, so price never went down. Just opened the wick, creating the highs. Let's see what's going to happen here on dollar yen. We still need to break now this guy first. Even consider to continue to look for sales. So yeah, let's see. It's an active day. I'm tired a little bit. It was a busy day today. Gold. Where is gold reacting from? Wherever. I just want to take a final look at crypto. Second. Yep. Yeah. So let's just take a final look at crypto. Take a look at Bitcoin. Right, so Bitcoin, as I've been mentioning as well in the last few weeks, this was my plan. This was the target. Target hasn't been reached before. It was reached now, and then price went down, and now we have maybe some orders in here. That's where price maybe is reacting from. Maybe we're going to see crypto ranging for a while, just maybe what we had as well during May and kind of beginning of June. Maybe we're going to have something like this going on, or maybe actually it's going to last all summer until maybe have a continuation to either up or down. Let's see what you're going to have in here. What I wanted to mention was, again, this beauty, right? So again, we had this highs, and what we have just before the news, right? Why are we breaking a high like that? what information are we getting, right? So what information can you see when you have a break of a high, when you have price spiking, taking highs just to go down really fast? And there you go. This is kind of an indication that most likely price may wants to go higher, or at least you can have a good trade even if you are looking then for the next lows and even retesting these highs. Most likely price even may want to go a little bit higher, maybe into this zone now. But yeah, if you see price breaking some highs like this, what's the reason, right? So a guy that I know that likes to trade crypto and is learning a little bit as well, to look at market like I do, I asked him, right? I think he managed to catch some shorts on Ethereum during the news. But I asked him, what does the high, what does this high here, what does the fake out mean to you? What information can you gather? Just with can you correct by breaking this high just before the news, right? Just the same thing of the XI. Why did it broke the double low just before the news, right? What's the reason? Like similar in here. Like, why are you doing that? Yeah. Study the market, and then you'll find out your reasons for it. Yep, nice reaction. I'm actually still expecting maybe a little bit further down on Ethereum. I still kind of think that there are some orders underneath. Ethereum did respect this high in there, while Bitcoin still had that space to fill to go to the target. Ethereum just respected this top of creating a double top, but I think there's still maybe some orders actually a little bit underneath it. But it's okay. This was still a fresh zone as well, kind of somewhere in here. That's where price just reacted from. Yep. Break off this highs. There you go. Alright, and that's how you create manipulation. That's how you confuse everyone. That's it. I think that was the only thing I wanted to talk about on crypto. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for thank you, Matt. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. For being part of the and for interacting with me today. Hopefully more people are going to join us, and hopefully you are going to be able to join me as well. Do you prefer it on Wednesdays or Tuesdays? Live stream. I think we'll do it on Tuesday because Tuesday usually it's a nice day to see some reversals, and it still kind of give us 3 days to trade. But yeah, let me know if you prefer Tuesdays or Wednesdays. And for the live stream, if you are enjoying the content as well, please let me know in the comments. And aside from that, wishing everyone a great rest of the week. I'll see you back on Saturday. I'll try to start creating some short videos from the live streams, so cutting some and editing some shorter videos with some parts of it. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much. See you next time. Obrigado.